All right, you guys, welcome back. Another episode of Open Mat Chronicles. 1865 Rod here. We're coming back at you guys again. And as always, I got my man Schaefer in the house. What's up, Schaefer?
What's going on, everybody? Schaefer's in the house. Open Mat Chronicles. Yeah, man, we've got another good one for you. It's going to be fun. We got a special guest, and this is one of the homies, so you'll like this. So, Rod, tell them who we got today.
Okay, so we got my man Tim. How do I pronounce your last name? Is it Slape?
Slape. Yeah.
Slape. Tim Slape. He is the owner of House of Moons. Old school guy. He's been doing this for a long time. I actually met Tim. It was just, I think you were training on Sundays, right? I would just kind of see, he was just one of those guys that would just appear. Right? Who's this dude, man? He was like a blue belt or something back then, and he was pretty good. Kind of like, just kind of watched him progress throughout the years. Now he's a freaking black belt, owns a school. Dang, man, life goes by quick, huh?
Kicking ass, taking names.
But anyway, thank you, Tim. I appreciate you coming on, and welcome to our podcast.
Man. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Should be fun.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself to the people.
What's up, guys? My name's Tim Slape. Black belt under Jamie Hara. If you guys don't know him, I would suggest watching some old fight tapes.
Hell yeah.
So I started with Jamie, I think, back in 2013. And when I was training with him, he was still a fighter, right? So I was training under Carnage MMA.
Okay.
And he was, it was brutal. Yeah,
That's right. Carnage used to be the shit. I thought
remember,
that was a badass name for a school.
Yeah,
right.
I thought it was a really badass name. Hell yeah.
So yeah, man, I started there, got my ass kicked on a daily basis, and learned jiu-jitsu, like fighting, ground fighting jiu-jitsu, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it wasn't easy, but I'm stronger today for it. But yeah, man, so been training with him, like I said, just come up through the years. Got my black belt back in 23, so not all that long ago, but it was a wild journey, you know what I mean? But
so
it's
you
been
went
fun.
from white belt to black, all under
Jamie.
one instructor.
Yep.
Yeah. We call those jiu-jitsu purebreds, right?
Yeah. That's like me, man. I did my whole tenure under Gus.
Same here.
So,
13 years just under John Hassett.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
You're a
interesting.
Helio guy, though.
I'm a Helio
guy.
I'm
Helio
a Carlos guy.
Yeah.
But we're all
enemy.
friends. I know. No, we're all friends now. It's
He
good.
doesn't like leg locks.
Yeah.
He's starting to embrace them now.
I am. I was saying to you guys earlier, I used to always avoid 50-50. I'm like, why is it everybody's jumping in and they're scissoring each other and shit? And I'm just like, I never get to this position. Now, Hassett had a long time when he's teaching 50-50. I just didn't like it. Because, I don't know, it wasn't my thing, right?
Yeah.
And I said, I can count on two hands now how many times I've actually been in 50-50 in live rolls, and it's about 7 times. And then, no shit, I would say at least the last 4 of those times have come in 2025.
Yeah.
All in 1 year. I'm like, how the hell do I keep getting here, man? This is the bullshit. But anyway.
But, I will say this, though, for a guy that he's not like a leg locker by any means, but Harold has a really good Dragon Spike, bro.
Yeah,
if he gets you in that Dragon Spike, it's over.
I've got good leg locks. I just don't do leg locks. I don't know. I'm a wrist lock guy.
I'm kind of embracing the Dragon Spike. It's just so much easier.
It's awesome. What's your thing? What's your go-to move, Tim? If you said, oh, you know what? I'm only going to catch jokers in one move from now on for the rest of my life.
Are we talking about gi or no gi? Because there's a big difference.
Okay.
No, man, you guys heel hooking the gi over there. I know it's
true.
lying. You lying.
But
all right, give us your gi and your no gi.
Okay. So he's right. We do heel hooks, right? And it for me, it all depends on the size of my opponent, right?
Okay.
If I'm going against bigger guys, I'm probably going to be grabbing their feet and scaring the shit out of them.
Dig it.
I mean?
Okay.
And I mean, I love heel hooks, straight ankles, aokis. I do it all. Toe holds are my favorite.
Right. See, I love toe holds. I ain't gonna lie about that, right?
Yeah.
Never called them toe holds. On our side, we call them twisting footlocks.
Yeah.
It's
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I say side mount. Everybody else says side control. I don't know. I think it's the East Coast West Coast thing, man. It's like Biggie and Tupac.
Well, we're not shooting each other.
Yeah, we're not shooting each other. We're having leg lock shootouts. That's about it.
Yeah.
So okay, so you have House of Moons now, which is freaking awesome. And you're one of the main instructors as well, and you've actually even do some instructing over at our school too, which is freaking awesome. You were running the women's class, and we've talked about that a few times, the women's classes and stuff. Main thing we wanted to start focusing on today, right? We want to ask some questions on like some of the things that you see, that we see, that are kind of like stalling or getting in the way of white belts progression. So I know we all had different experiences as white belts because we trained differently back then. Like, I mean, we were just the way white belts train now versus hell, even a decade or so ago, it's changed, right? But if you were to give some advice to some of these white belts, like how should they get out of their own way? Like, what would you give them?
Honestly, I'd say number one, slow the fuck down.
Yeah.
I tell people that all the time. I'm like, okay, stop, slow down, be patient, right? Because they're trying to like do all these moves like as fast as they possibly can, and they're like missing all these details. And it's like, dude, you're trying to combine like 3 or 4 things into one move,
right?
So stop. You know, just do everything like step by step.
By the numbers.
Yeah.
That's how we did it in the Army, right? It was like by the numbers.
Yeah. There's a reason for that. It
sure.
works, right? So I'd say that's like number one is like slow down and just kind of like you said, do it by the numbers. And number two, I'd say the biggest thing that I think haunts white belts all the way through even like purple and sometimes brown, it stays with them is a lot of people don't take the time to build a solid foundation.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm teaching like, you know, the female class, and I'm teaching like some really like basic shit.
Absolutely.
And the purple belts are looking like, I've never seen that. I've never known that. I'm
Yo.
like,
That's a common
we
thing.
have legit seen that too.
Yeah.
We've absolutely seen that in our teachings with people, right? Like I like to go back to basic classes. Like I taught a basic class on Friday. Like I have this beginner set of moves that I run through whenever I see we have a lot of new white belts.
Yeah.
I'm like, nope, this is what we're doing. And even the upper belts still appreciate it usually because some of them go, oh shit, you know what? Either I haven't seen it, right? I haven't seen it. I didn't know a detail. This is worth watching, right?
well, even as a black belt, you like look at basic shit. And you're like,
100%.
oh,
I forgot
okay,
that.
I forgot
Right?
about that.
It's a little
yeah.
detail. That's
Right?
right.
Yeah.
Hell
That's
yeah.
why I don't do that move.
Yeah.
I didn't learn it right.
For me, and now I know why it doesn't work because I wasn't doing
never
that.
It actually
worked.
does work.
Hell yeah, dude. And it's funny. So there's a military saying they go, slow is smooth and smooth is fast, right? And that happens because when you do slow down, it looks super smooth. And when you see something that's just happening smoothly, you're like, damn, he's so smooth and so fast with it. But in reality, he's going at a nice, slow or to moderate pace. It just flows so good that it looks faster. And we have a military guy who just started. He's a white belt, and he's doing really good, right? We're working with him a lot, and I was showing him this basic stuff, and I could see it. He kept trying to rush through, and he was missing like the simple detail. Like I tell people, hey, you cup the back of the head, you twist your hand, you roll, you never let up pressure, then you mush his face out. Yeah. East Coast do a lot of face mushing, right? But he was missing it, and I told him, I stood up, I'm watching him, I said, hey, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. And he was like, it like
okay,
clicked.
yeah.
He's like, I haven't heard that shit since, basic training and back when I was like
Since
freaking
boot
running
camp.
around like Afghanistan and shit. Like he's like, slow is smooth, smooth fast. And he slowed down and he started picking the shit up better. So yes.
Yeah.
But you know what? To your point, Tim, about some of the advanced guys not knowing the basic move. It's hard. I don't say it's hard, but it's kind of challenging teaching jiu-jitsu in general, right? Because as an instructor, you teach the basics, right, and then your guys start developing a little bit. Then you're teaching more advanced moves, and then you have another group of people that come in that are day one, and so then you don't want to like bore your advanced people with all this basic stuff. But there's no, it's hard, right?
It is, dude.
But then you don't
you
want to teach the new guys the too advanced. So you have to kind of fight the urge to teach too much advanced things. Or if you're going to teach something advanced, break it down into very digestible chunks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Completely.
That's what you could do.
Yeah.
Like, I believe you could teach a berimbolo, which is an advanced move, but you could teach a white belt, this is a berimbolo. This is how it works. This is the fundamentals of how, and that's it. That's it. At least you see the concept of it and then move on.
Yeah,
I'm not advocating for teaching berimbolo.
It's all good.
As an
I can do
example.
that too, you know. but
yeah, how do you do it? Like, how do you integrate the upper and lower belts?
I mean, it's much like what you said, right? It's like if I see I have a very fresh class, I'll do basic shit, right? And I'll even start off with like, okay, these are some of your basic positions, because a lot of people don't even know how to like hold a basic position. You know what I mean? It's like you're watching them, you're like, dude, what the hell are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
And
or
so
you got guys pushing up from mount still. You know what I mean? Trying to bench press them off. Yeah.
Don't ever do that.
Yep.
Or reaching back from like being close guys, like dude, no, never ever do that, right? But they're like you too. You get like sometimes classes that are you have no beginners and it's all upper belts. Like okay, now I can
now
go
cut
wild.
loose.
Right. I can teach some high
the fun
shit
stuff, yeah.
But like you're right. You do have to teach it. Number one, can you break it down into digestible little bites at a time, right? And even still doing so, you can, integrate some pretty high level shit.
Yeah.
Knowing that you're gonna have to go over this like 2 or 3, 4 times, like down the road, for them to even pick it up.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the other thing. So now let me ask you this, and not to put you on the spot because I know where we're at on this one. Do you try to map out your instructional week, month, year? Like, do you actually try to say, okay, under ideal circumstances, I'm going to run this for a week, then the following week I'm going to run this type of stuff? Or is it more like, shit, I just have to go off of who shows up and just be ready to teach anything?
I would say sometimes it's more of the latter, but I try to do the like planning my week out, right?
Okay.
It's funny. I was talking to Jamie about this the other day, but it's like some of the guys that start off teaching, it's like they don't know how the hell to teach, and they're like, "What do I teach and what do I do?" And it's like it's simple. You kind of start with how were you taught? Try to mimic that. And then once you do that and you get a feel, you'll start to throw your own flavor in or start to get your own feel of how you want to do it. Dude. And you'll just kind of make your own style up,
Yeah.
That's freaking great advice, actually. Like, that's seriously, you're right, man. It's like, do what they did to you.
Yeah.
And then adjust and go, well, you know what? I didn't really like this that they did.
Right.
Let me put my spin on it. Let me give a little of my flavor.
Yeah.
That's freaking simple but brilliant, right?
It's
that makes perfect sense.
So I just always try to take like, how did Jamie teach me? And then I basically have taken like, that formula and applied it to my style, and I've come up with my own way.
Right. Which also lends to the evolution of jiu-jitsu, right? Because we talked about traditions, we talked about some of the things that have been falling by the fucking wayside. Like they've been disappearing, and I've always still considered jiu-jitsu a martial art more than a sport, right? But martial arts were way more rigid, right? Like you had that rigidity in there where it's like, no, we do this. When you teach, it must be this way. When you learn, it must be this way. To the point where people go, why do you do it? And you go,
I don't know.
Fucking knows because that's how he did it, and that's how this guy before did it. And that's how this, and then you find out if you go back far enough, you're like, oh yeah, this guy was missing a couple of fingers, so he couldn't grab it that way.
I think I listened to a session you guys did one time when you broke it down, where it was like you went back to like the master of the master of the master.
And it's like, why'd you do it?
I was more comfortable this way.
Dude. Because I had a hole in my gi and I want people to see it, so I always stayed on this side. It's like some crazy shit, right? But you're right. By changing it up, by taking what you had and then making it more digestible, palatable to the masses, it does change jiu-jitsu, though, right? And I want to call it an evolution. I'm hoping it's getting better. I think jiu-jitsu's better than it was, right?
I look at the white belts now. I'm like, these guys are way better than I was as a white belt. Dude, good, dude.
Just told some people at a promotion.
You're like going all the way inverted, doing this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Did that back then.
I was like, most of these people at whatever belt they're at now would have kicked my ass at whatever belt I was at if you go back that far. Because I'm like, yeah, as a blue belt, our blue belts are way better.
Really
dude.
technical, man.
Like, Eric
Solid.
and all those guys, they would have beat the shit out of me.
I was thinking of Eric. Look how
Yeah,
technical he
dude.
is.
Like, they would have beat the shit out of me as a blue belt. And I was decent, They Damn.
I think that's just the evolution of it, though. I mean, because like you think about it, back in the day when like like say, okay, you're one of like Cassio's lineage, right? So like back in the day, like there was very few people to learn from, right? Cass brought a jiu-jitsu to Sacramento, I think back in like '92.
Oh
Right?
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And it was like I was still in high school back then. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, me too. All right.
So it was like, it was like jiu-jitsu. What the hell is that? You know,
Yeah.
it's like, that was like, I think '94 was the first UFC when we actually got to see.
Yeah, 93 or 94, right around there.
Yeah,
Yep.
with Hoist Gracie, he's
Yeah.
the one that won it, right? It's
Yeah.
like, oh, that's cool. What is
Hell
that?
yeah.
What is that?
You know
That's what I
mean?
knew.
It's
I was like,
awesome.
oh, I gotta learn this jujitsu shit.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
the year I went to the army too, and I was like, oh yeah, oh yeah. But it didn't happen until like damn near 9 years later. Still, yeah.
But like, I think what I'm trying to get at is like, back then you saw a purple belt and you're just like, oh my god,
Oh, yeah,
you're
yeah.
a god. You know what I
Who's-
mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
And, like,
See, he
now-
gets it. He
Yeah.
gets it.
He gets
Yeah.
it for sure.
Yeah.
John Hassett, when he opened his school, purple belt.
Yeah.
And I used to walk around, I'm like,
Dude's a purple
yo,
belt. Yeah.
he would fuck anybody up, dude.
Right?
I'm like, if Mike Tyson fought John Hassett, he'd have no chance, right?
Now you got like second day white belts. Yo, man, you want to roll? Call
Yeah.
out black
How
belts.
about that? He's like, excuse me, old man, would you care to roll?
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. But we said now Rod's got a couple new guys he can do this. So when I remember I guess I was a purple belt and we had this dude, he was from California but he ended up in Jersey and really good guy, right? Big, giant, jacked. He was a brown belt. He came out of Vegas and he wanted to roll with John Hassett. He's like, Hassett's like, nah, go roll with one of my purple belts, right? And he sent him to fight me.
I do that all the time now.
And
Get one of my
now
blue belts.
Rod's got these purple belts that have like come up and they owe their shit to Rod. And then now Rod's like,
Go fight Oleg.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I already paid my dues.
Oh yeah, because somebody will pop up. Hey Rod, you want to roll a little bit? And it'll be like, oh, white belt, blue belt, purple, brown. Doesn't even fucking matter. He's like, go talk to one of my purple belts.
Yeah,
right now. I'm sitting here, I'm chilling, which is pretty awesome.
Oh yeah. Well, it's like when I come in, I roll with you guys. It's like it's more of a flow.
Yeah,
at that point,
yeah. We're
It's
just
like,
having fun.
We're already like
Yeah.
That's awesome though, man. So yeah, you're right. It's like that tradition gets changed. You kind of create your own new traditions, and I people who have families do that too, right? They're like why do we always go to this house? And why do we only serve these things? And why is this the only thing we're eating for Thanksgiving or whatever? But then, families change and the dynamics change. And now you say, yeah, I'm putting couscous in there or some shit instead of rice, or I'm doing this or doing that. And that's how it is. Like with all these schools, they're out there, they're changing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're changing what you eat. So it's pretty cool. I like what jiu-jitsu is becoming, but I also miss some of what jiu-jitsu was.
Yeah.
And I think that depends on the school that you're at, I mean, because we're still a very traditional kind of like martial arts style school, right? Where it's like, it's very like, honor, discipline focused. You know, and it's like you bow to the black belts first
okay.
and, all that kind of stuff. And I
didn't know it was that tradition. I really did not know that.
See,
Jamie
that's
was that.
awesome.
Yeah.
Whereas but mine, see, it had already gotten pulled out of mine because we never did the bowing, even though.
No, we did under Gus.
Well, I never really bowed. Dude, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I did.
Last time I did bow to anybody, I was like 11 or 12 years old taking karate.
right.
It's just, it's never my thing.
So when I started and I was with Jamie, it was like, like I said again, black belts were not that common, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't care if you're in the middle of drilling or whatever. A black belt steps on the mat, you stop what you're doing and you go greet the black belt.
Yeah.
right.
It's like a respect thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. It's like they busted their ass to get
Hell yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And they paid their dues, so you go greet them. You know what I
Right.
mean?
But now,
See,
think
and that's
about
the part I don't like about really fast track black belts.
I feel you
Because
on
you
that
lose
too.
that a little
Right.
bit. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
you're not looking
6
at
years.
the same traditions and
Yes.
shit. But now think about the prevalence of black belts now. If you're chilling and you're on the mat and you're rolling, you might have to stop 7, 8, 9, 10 times.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, hey, there's Bill, there's Bob, there's Joe, there's Sue, there's Jan, there's all these black belts. They're showing up, and you're like, damn. So I guess it has become a much more common thing, obviously, to see black belts. Like I was the 10th black belt under Hassett, and that was still, I was like, yeah, that's, number 10. I made the cutoff to where, now you're one of his black belts, just like you're here.
I think
now it's probably like,
You got to register, man.
40,
Did you register?
44, 45. I probably will.
I just did mine yesterday. I started, after Gus told me, you just need to register, bro.
Right?
Yeah, you should. Yeah. Did you do yours, Tim? You got to do it if you haven't.
Yeah.
It's
See,
important.
exactly.
It's important. No. I think it's important for lineage because at some point you're going to make your own black belts and they're going to flow into you, and then they'll have that direct lineage all the way up to you because you're Carlos is us, right? Same.
Yeah, Carlos.
Yeah.
Castillo got his from.
There's like
Reyes.
4 guys in between. Yeah, like Reyes, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Reyes
see, at
directly,
least
and then somewhere there's wow.
it's wild. All
and all these other ones.
yeah. If their last name's not Gracie, I don't know sometimes. Just being honest.
Gracie,
You know
some other guy
you
is
relate.
Gracie.
You guys know you relate. Come on. Okay, let me ask you this, Tim. Okay, so what about going back to like the white belts? What slows them down? Do you see a certain mindset with? Okay, you got 2 different white belts. You got the white belt. They both know nothing day one. They roll with you after the class, and they're just trying to win, dude. They're just going balls out. They're not using any jiu-jitsu. They're using their strength, athleticism, their God-gifted, whatever they have. And you got person B who's like, I don't know anything. I'm just going to just get tapped a million times. I think person B is going to develop a lot better in the long run. I've just seen anecdotally the guys are really good and technical. Right. They don't have the ego. But I asked you, so go ahead and answer.
Yeah, no, I actually kind of agree with you. It's the guys that are going like balls to the wall, right? And it's like they're usually like doing what I said. They're not stopping to like learn the details. As to where the other person is already getting their ass kicked. They're trying to soak up as much as they can. Yeah. So they're gonna probably soak up more of the details than the other person who's just trying to combine 2, 3, 4 different things into one and just go as fast as they possibly can. Right?
See, and also, I think the fact that they're trying to win, like they're just using whatever they got to win. And I say that you can't win in practice, man. It's like you're not competing against somebody in practice. Whereas you're right, the person who slows down and go, well, I'm going to try to do this elbow escape the way I was taught. Yeah. Oh shit, I got my guard passed. That's because I don't really know the elbow escape, but at least I tried. You know what I mean? And if they get in the position again, oh, he's got side mount or side control, as some people like to say. He's got it on me again. I'm going to try to elbow escape. Oh, it's not working, and I got Americana for it. But you're right. They're trying the actual techniques the way it was presented to them. And at some point, they try that elbow escape, and they're like, oh, shit, I just put him in half guard. You know what I mean? It's like it actually worked. Whereas the other guy's like, well, I never got him in half guard because I just picked him up and threw him off of me. It's like,
I know a few people that do that stuff.
And here's the sad part is it works sometimes, right? If you're big enough and strong enough, it can work a little bit, but it's not. At some point, it won't work.
Correct, because you're going to get a guy who's just as big, just as strong, and you're not going to be able to just muscle him out. Yeah. But you could technique your way out of that shit sometimes. So it's, that's a good point. That's a very good point. And I think I tend to agree with both of you two. Yeah. It's like the guy who just takes the ass whoopings, but he's trying to actually apply the technique will ultimately be better than just the big.
Yeah, okay, so let's just say you take a big, strong guy, right? And you're trying to triangle him, and he just he just postures up super hard, and he's not even really making the connection as to what he's doing. He's just fighting out of it as like a caveman, right? So maybe you didn't get the triangle on him, and that's working for him for a while, right? But then you start rolling a little more aggressively with him, and then you start catching him, right? Now you have to fight him back. But he still didn't solve it. He just uses brute strength. Right. But you got guy B who just lets himself get triangled, and he gets triangled like 100 times. Okay, he's going to start recognizing those patterns, and he won't get triangled anymore. Whereas this guy might only have been triangled a few times because there's only a handful of guys that can actually get him because they're big and strong and they have good technique. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know if that's making sense, but I hope you guys know what I'm trying to say.
Totally makes sense. Completely makes sense.
That's why I don't get triangled a lot. It's because I got triangled a million times. That's right. I'm not big and strong. I just got triangled a zillion times.
I think the people that get out of stuff like so well, that are like really good at finding like those little holes and like escaping things. I think those are the people that got that put in things so damn many times. Yes. It's like, okay, I just need to make a little space here and do this.
It.
A little air gap.
They see the adjustment, like they feel it coming before they ever even see it coming. Yep. Yeah, I totally agree with that shit, man. And that makes sense.
When I was with Jamie, is like, everything I did, like, I was a white belt. I was tiny, right? So he put me in so much crap that, like, eventually I had to start kind of, like, getting good at, like, almost, like, before it even happened, trying to work out of it. You know what I mean?
It's like a sixth sense.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's like you had that, like, intuition before. Yeah. It's like whoa. Yeah.
He'd still kill me. It wouldn't matter, but you know, I might, like, stop one thing slightly and then just throw me something else and, like, choke me out.
But that's a good instructor too, right? They're like, it's like, all right, you're learning. Let me show you the counter to this move. And you're like, all right, yes, oh please. Then they show you the counter. Then they just throw you something else and catch you. They're like,
he wouldn't even show me the counter. He just, how do you stop that from happening? Don't get put in that position,
dude. That is old school.
Old school, yeah.
For real. Yo, I think freaking, I got to do the names right. There, Hoist Gracie came through, and he was doing a seminar out over at Hassas, and they were talking about it. And they were like, oh, yeah, man, it was a really good seminar. And they were like, oh, okay, so Hoist, what happens if you get caught in a triangle? He's like, I don't get caught in a triangle. Yeah. Well, wait a minute. He's like, oh, I'm just saying. He's like, but if you got caught, he's like, I don't get caught in a triangle, right? And then the guy finally it clicked, and he was like, hey, Hoist, if I got caught in a triangle, what should I do? He said, oh, no problem. Let me show you what you
Got it.
So he's basically like, I don't get caught in that shit. And that's how the old school instructors were, right? They're like, no. I'm not getting caught in that shit. Now, if you want me to tell you how to get out of it when you fuck up, that's different. I can help you out. So I thought that was really freaking cool.
Well, now everybody shares everything, right? It's like I'm an open book. I'll show everybody everything I know. And sometimes it's to my detriment, but I'm not competing against my own students. So I don't really care. So it makes it more challenging for me to try to catch them in submissions because, like, I just freaking showed you everything. You know?
Yeah, you've given them the whole playbook.
Yeah, I give them my whole playbook. But they start getting better, and then it forces me to dig deeper and kind of come up with new stuff.
I was just going to say that. It forces you to get better when you teach them your stuff and they defend it. And you're like, okay, cool, and I got to find something else to do now.
100%.
You know what I mean?
It's the old saying, a rising tide lifts all boats.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The better they get, well, that means I have to get better too. So I come up as you come up. And, yeah, that's awesome. Which is why I really like our guys. I like most of the jiu-jitsu community, man. I rarely run across an asshole. It's like they're out there.
It's rare.
They're
out there. They're out there. But I would say, can we say 85%? I mean, does that sound like a good number?
I'd say
pretty
90%.
fucking good. I would say even
most
more,
is
right?
pretty
Probably
cool.
90% of the guys are like, they're cool, man.
Yeah.
Like they're some of them can't check their ego just quite yet.
But white belts. Yeah.
And that doesn't even make them uncool.
And it
in my
doesn't make
opinion.
them
It's
bad
just
people.
like maybe they just don't know. They're not aware of it.
Correct.
And maybe that's just
Yeah.
the way that they came up. You know, it's like some guys just fight more aggressively. There's nothing wrong with that. It just maybe it's not my flavor. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I'm also an older guy. So if I was 30, I probably would be like
be
those
that
guys.
guy, right?
I'd be one of those guys. In fact, I was one of those guys for a long time. That's why they teased me.
They didn't call you microwave for nothing, right?
Yeah, that's right. I was forced to slow down.
Yeah,
all the
right?
time.
Hell yeah.
You will slow down.
All right. So as we're helping these white belts out who are listening today, first of all, white belts and everybody else, you need to like, share, and subscribe, right? We're giving you some good stuff here today because this is something you'll be able to put in your back pocket. You'll be able to save this and use it. So dealing with our white belts, but now let's kind of pivot a little bit to your female white belts, right? Because again, you run a great freaking women's only class, and we've had discussions on women's only classes. Shout out to the last person who said something about it. I can't remember exactly what his post was, but he was just talking about like the women's only class. He's like, yeah, those are quite interesting or some shit like that. It was good.
We got to shout out Kazari. Is it Kazari guy?
Oh yeah, dude. He's always posted. I like
Posting
that,
out.
man.
We appreciate you, man.
Hell damn yeah. Thank you. So when you're teaching your women's only classes, right? I know you'll have like a couple of, like, I think you had a purple and maybe even a brown that might have come in a couple times.
Yeah.
I think the brown actually she covered for you.
She just got a black.
Oh,
nice.
shit.
That's
Nice.
Congratulations.
Jamie's first black belt
wow.
female.
Oh,
That's cool.
nice.
Yeah.
Dude, everybody's like, this is a whole lot of firsts.
Wait, when
Half
was your
just
promotion?
promoted his first
What's
two.
that?
When was your promotions?
Okay, so you guys are getting into something that is a difference between the schools too, because we don't do a full-on
Right.
like weekend
okay.
promotion
It's-
type thing. It's like
Got it.
we do things as it happens, right?
Got it. Okay.
So if they feel that it's
Yeah.
time, they give them the stripe, belt, whatever
All right.
happens.
Right there on the
during
spot,
class.
right at
Yep.
the gym.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or at the gym or a podium if you're a podium. But it's there. It's unexpected.
Yep.
Yeah. Gus did that for a while.
Yeah. And I'll come back to that because I want to get your opinion on something about that too.
Yeah, totally.
So when you have your female classes though, right, and you get some young ladies who are beginners, and it's just like they're like, holy shit, I've never done any kind of martial art, I've never done anything, and maybe I was going to say maybe guys have the same fear, but fuck that, they don't, right? For the most part, guys and girls, when they're starting jiu-jitsu, aren't looking at it the same way. A lot of times, women's classes will come from a sense of wanting to avoid being traumatized or from past trauma to begin with.
Oh, yeah.
And they're looking for something to empower them, something to make them feel safer and better. How do you work? It might be no difference, but how do you approach this with your female-only classes when they're coming in as white belts and they're like, I don't know what the fuck to do. I don't even know if I'm comfortable being in this position at all. Like, how do you work with them?
That's a good question.
Yeah, see?
So,
That's a good one.
okay, let me just kind of like, I'll back up and I'll kind of start with the formation of this. And like, so I was kind of like running a beginner class for a while, and it was an, man and female, like beginner class, whatever, it didn't matter, right? And I wasn't having a whole lot of turnout for it. It was like they would usually come to the adult class, wouldn't come to the beginner class kind of thing, right? I'm like, okay, well, it's kind of like your analogy about the food, right? It's like you put the plates on the table and you see what gets eaten,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so I shifted gears and I started like looking during the kids class, right? You have a lot of moms in there, and they're watching pretty intently, and you can kind of tell like the wheels are turning, and they're watching, and they're interested. And so I kind of got the idea. I'm like, I bet I could run a female class. And so I started talking to the moms, and I'm like, hey, if I just had a female-only group, would you guys be interested in trying it out? They're like, oh, yeah, that'd be cool, right? So I got a lot of them to start just by that. Like, just by I think that's the main icebreaker for females, right, is you can do this, not be under the pressure of getting crushed by a bunch of dudes, right? And they feel safe, and they know that, like, most of the time, other women are going to help them out and help them empower, right? And so it just kind of forms, like, pretty organically from that. You know what I mean? And so the funny thing to that is a lot of the women that end up transfer from the female class to the adult class, they start rolling with the guys, and the guys are easier rolls than the girls.
That's what I was going to ask you. If it was like a stepping stone to just the normal classes.
Yes.
Okay, so they don't stay long term. Like
they still come to the female.
Oh, but they at least they transition over though. Still, right? Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Yeah. So like right now, like our female class runs right into the adult class, at our school. And I started at 5. Our adult class starts at 6, so they usually show up at 5 and stay until 7:30.
That makes sense.
Gotcha. They don't even take the gi off. They're like, nope, let's just keep it going. Get another hour of training.
Go right in. Yeah.
Nice.
I think it's important too, at least for rolling. Just the size difference usually. Like it would suck, man.
I think that helps too with the female-only classes when a lot of times you are now going to deal with somebody who is at least on par with you on strength and size and stuff like that, versus getting some 200-something pound guy sweating all over you, like just kind of crushing you just because he's there. He can't help but crush you. I mean,
I think one of the things that helps too with me is like I'm such a small guy, right? I'm usually like one of the smaller guys in the gym, and I go against like friggin' brutes, like like when Ellis,
right?
You
Shout out to Ellis, man.
Yeah, you guys have met our brown belt Tyler.
Yeah. Unfortunately, not Tyler. I met him. Yeah,
he was a beast.
A bearded guy.
We're both always like just beasts and like absolute like freaks of nature sometimes, And most of the time I'm holding my own. I'm not getting my ass kicked the entire time. Yeah. And so they have that to see, and so I'm like pointing that out. I'm like, listen, look, technique will beat strength any day of the damn year, And they see that, and they're like, okay, he can actually do that, and like this will work against a bigger opponent, right? And so like just seeing stuff like that, I think is also very important for them. You know what I mean? Okay. And Yeah, I think that women respond well to. I, I've been told that I explain things very well when I'm teaching my female class.
Gotcha.
That's why
Yeah.
a lot of the females come to the class because they enjoy the way that I teach.
Nice.
I think too that you could present yourself well, and you're not as like Harold. You're gonna have a rougher time. You just look mean, dude. Like,
I know,
like
yeah.
David's
I used
more
to teach
I'm
some
very
women's
inviting.
Yeah, he's the one.
I've taught some women's classes, and for sure, you're right. I can be a lot more gruff, but I still got that old Army freaking infantry mentality, and
but you
I
teach
don't
very
talk
well,
to
though.
them
You
any
teach very well.
differently. I break it down for
Yeah.
them. I try to make them, somewhat comfortable,
Yeah.
but I also let them know this is not going to be comfortable. It's like, get comfortable being uncomfortable, because
Yeah, very much.
You're talking about you want to be able to protect yourself. Well, you're going to protect yourself from a guy. Like, just realistically, you're going to protect
That's a
yourself
good point,
from a
actually.
big, aggressive,
That
mean
is a good
guy. And so sometimes you gotta kind of see that, but maybe not day one.
Yeah, not day one. Yeah.
Maybe not day one. You ease them into it, but
We pop that on like class 3 or something.
yeah, exactly, right? Hell yeah. Just, you know what, when you're ready, you just you call me and I'll just come in. I'm like, oh, who was it? Oh my God. And they'll be like, and cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you scared?
Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you'd have been fine, because Harold is actually one of the nicest roles you're ever going to freaking have. It's like, I'm super laid back. Okay, so now I'm going to come back because I didn't forget about this belt thing. But before I go there, women and leg locks. So we had seen something, and I think we talked about it before, that women should really, really learn leg locks, because
100%.
that's where you're
need
keeping you're keeping the most distance away from the big old meat hooks that these guys are going to be trying to come at you with, and you shred their knees and ankles and all that stuff, and you're probably in the most protected position by going after the lower body, going after extremities. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Go ahead, Tim, because he knows where I stand on this.
Okay, well, I mean, I draw from my own experience, right? And so I'll just say, like, it's funny because when I was a white belt, I think I was about maybe 2 stripes or 1 or 2 stripes. It was early. Jamie actually thought I was going to quit because we were going over like a crap ton of like heel hooks and stuff like that, right? And, just Jamie's philosophy was always like, learn stuff as a white belt, so that way when you can actually do it, you're already like well versed in it. You know how to defend it. You know how to do it.
Absolutely.
Right. So we teach heel hooks from white belt on, and we teach everything. Right.
Good stuff.
So when we started doing leg locks and a lot of the heel hooks and stuff like that, I was getting my ass kicked and just my leg was getting torn off. Right. And I was like, I was getting pissed, and I couldn't figure out how to defend it or anything, right? I couldn't even figure out how to do it because I was just happening so fast.
Yeah.
So, funny story, we had about 3 or 4 women in the gym who were like the leg lock queens, right? So I started coming to class early, and I'd have the girls show me how to defend leg locks.
Hell yeah.
So most of my leg lock game and most of my defense came from learning from the women.
Yeah.
Right? And I mean, Rod can tell you, I'm pretty proficient at leg locks now,
Very good.
So,
Absolutely.
but like my defense mostly comes from learning from the females in the class. And it just stuck with me, and I can escape a lot of crap.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
See? And now you're giving back. So
Yes,
it's like a
exactly.
circle
Full
of life,
circle.
right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. That's a good freaking story.
That's a cool thing though about rolling with women. It's all technique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not going
Exactly.
to manhandle you, so it's just pure. It's a fun roll usually.
Well, dude, if you guys have rolled with Sandra, I mean, she's just nothing but technique.
Yeah, her technique
It's-
is freaking on point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
On point.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. And for sure. And you know what? And when I do roll with the ladies, I'm not going to freaking try to muscle it out at all. I'm going to say, hey, you know what? We're going to go technique for technique, and we're just going to flow. And again, I'm a good role for everybody, I think. People always think, oh, he's going to smash and blah, blah, blah. Dude, I rarely put any like pressure on anybody. I just let them move, just let them float.
I mean, most
It's
of the
just
black,
hard for me if it's a beginner, like a white belt female.
Right.
If they don't have a lot of technique, I have trouble rolling with them sometimes because
Yeah.
you can't use strength and they don't have any technique. So what do you do? It's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do here. I'm just gonna lay her, let you try to beat me up or something. I don't know. But like Sarah, she's a good roll, dude.
Hell yeah.
Sarah's
Yeah.
going after my feet. She's trying to rip my knees off. She's good.
Yep.
shout out to her and Brian too.
I'm
getting
about to
the
say,
purples,
congrats
right?
to all of them.
Hell
Everybody
yeah.
got promoted. I said that whole family got more dangerous yesterday.
You're right.
Yep.
Like, that's
That's
pretty
awesome.
awesome. Hell yeah. Okay, now, so I let you know, I did not forget. So promotions, dude, right? I love the idea of formalized promotions, right? Like
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie, I like when people know they're gonna get their belts. I like them to say, oh shit, okay, you know what? This next ceremony, you're gonna be promoted unless some real crazy shit happens or whatever. And especially for those upper belts, like for black belts and stuff like that, brown and black. And the reason I say it is because think about how much time so many people take away from their families to go to do jiu-jitsu, right? And you know, you got maybe a husband at home or you got a wife at home and they're like, what the fuck? You're going to class again? You've been there fucking 5, 6, 7 days a week. You're there all the time.
And?
Right. And they go,
Usually they're happy to get you out of the house. What are you talking about? They're like, go to jiu-jitsu, man. Go.
but even if they're happy and they're supportive, they might be like, man, you know what? Let me go see what the hell it's all about. Let me watch them move up to black belt, especially black belt, right? They're like, I'm gonna watch and
Man, he's got a
see-
good marriage.
I'm gonna see my loved one get this that they've been training so long. Versus they come home and they're like, I'm a black belt. What's up? You know, you're like, oh really? Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Congratulations.
Yeah, whatever, dude.
So
See, I have mixed feelings on that one.
right, I know you do.
I kind of
know.
agree with you to some. I like the fact that you have a promotion and formalize that.
Right.
But I know when I got my black belt, I didn't know I was going to get it, dude. And Gus
okay.
was messing with me, too, because he promoted everybody.
Right.
And then he
Saved
started,
you,
like,
yeah.
closing it out.
Okay,
And, I was like, and then
hell.
he pulled the certificate out. I was like, dude, that was really important to me.
Even that.
I love that.
Even that. I'll say, okay,
cool.
if I had to concede something, I'd say maybe I'll concede you don't necessarily have to tell everyone, okay?
Okay.
But check this out. Do you guys have any early morning classes?
Not right now.
Not, but at least morning and night classes?
We have a noon class and a evening class.
Okay. Do you see a separation or a division that some people go to this, some people go to this? Not everybody goes to both sets of classes, right?
I see where you're going with that, and I do
Right?
agree with you. You're right, but we still get bleed over, right? Some of the people from the
sure.
day class will still come to like the night class every once in a while, or like the Saturday class.
Okay.
Right? So we do get the intermingling.
So they still
of
at least
everyone.
interact some,
Yes,
right?
and, like,
we've got some people, they don't even know who the fuck is at the
never
other
seen 'em
class,
before.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But then this gives them a reason to come
Yeah, this is kinda
together.
cool.
Hey, this is all your team. These are all these people. Now they're sharing stories about, oh yeah, he trains you this
Yeah.
way and he trains us this way. And you see people get promoted versus it's almost like in secret, man.
Yeah.
If this guy only comes to the Wednesday and Thursday night class, and nobody from the day gets to see him get promoted. Nobody who's
Yeah.
not there that day doesn't get to see it happen.
It's like a little reunion. I see all these guys
Like-
having, I haven't seen this guy in like a year. That's so cool.
And that's the part that
I like
always
that part.
bothered me about
Yeah.
strictly promoting like spontaneously. You
Yeah.
know, it's like, oh, damn, I missed it. I didn't get to see it. Here's another one. Because you said, remember, Gus did do that for a while.
Did that for a while, yeah.
And I missed some people's promotion who I would have wanted
you're
to
right.
see.
Yeah.
I fucking put a lot of work in to help him with this person. I would have liked to have seen them get belted.
Get your picture with them, all that kind of
Right.
stuff.
Dude,
Right?
actually, you know, one of them
But
was Oleg.
I happened not to show up that day, and it's like, tough shit, Harold.
Yeah.
Dude, it was, Oleg was one. I just showed up. Oleg had a purple belt. I'm like,
Fucking
what?
A, dude.
Like, yeah, Oleg's my guy, dude. I'm like, dude, I put all this time in Oleg. Dang.
So I don't even have mixed feelings about it. I don't like it. Like, I'll keep it real. And I totally respect that people do it because same with the podiums and same with all this. And maybe I'm just a product of my environment because that's how we did it at Hassets. It was always a formalized promotion. It was like pretty much every quarter or so we had a promotion because big school. So there was always somebody set to go get their blue or their purple or something.
That's a
so,
lot every quarter.
Dude, it was
you must have a lot of
people.
students for that. Yeah.
It's got a big ass school.
I think the difference between what you're talking about is like big schools versus kind of like smaller schools.
Oh, yeah,
Also
it
could be.
Right?
Yeah.
Because like, in a smaller school, like we all know each other.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
We're
And
just,
fair
we're
enough.
basically-
It's a good
we're
point.
a big ass family. I mean, we just went and had a Christmas party
Nice.
at our brown belt that got promoted to black. We were at her house yesterday, all like, just shooting the shit, eating
Talking
tri-tip and everything else. Man, it was badass.
Man.
It was cool.
Tri-tip is awesome.
Yeah.
Probably showing
Shout
heel
out to
hooks
John. Shout out to James and Brian again. They both make some fucking good tri-tips.
So, but I mean, like, I think when it's a smaller environment, I think what, the on-spot kind of promotions works. And I think that I do agree with you with like the big spectacle of like having the event, having everyone there,
that's
having
a good
the
point.
families,
I didn't think of
right?
that. You're right.
But
It's a
yeah,
size.
smaller school makes sense.
Yeah.
But like, here's the thing I think that the big spectacle kind of misses out on, which is I know when I got my black belt and when some people have gotten their promotions, it was like the focus was on them. So it was like an individual achievement, right? And so it's like when you have 2 or 3 people getting their belt, it's no longer something
Kind
really
of
special.
You blend into the crowd. Oh,
Yeah.
All right. You're not going to convert me, but you do make sense.
Well, I'm not talking crazy,
That's a good. No, those are good ass
good
arguments for it.
It makes sense for a small school.
I can respect that though, and like I said, I like what you also just said about the individualism. It's like, hey, this is my day.
Yeah.
So at least whoever is here, they're like, fuck yeah, and they're just looking at you. All right.
But
I can understand
to go
it.
back on your point about like the family at home, it's like I know, like my girlfriend knew when it was getting close, and she even contacted Jamie and was like asking him like, "Hey, can you try to make sure I'm there? Or give me some advance, right?" And when you do it spot on, it's hard because it's like you don't want to like promote someone when they're having a bad day at the gym, right? And they roll like shit, like they're trashed, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh hey, you got your ass kicked, get up here. So it's a little bit harder to do that way as far as like incorporating the family. So I do agree with you on that, definitely. But I will say this, I came home that night after I got my black, and my girlfriend's sitting there. I'm like, oh man, I got to go wash my belt and pull out of the bag. And she's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Come on, we're going to dinner. I'm
That's
like,
awesome.
Oh, cool.
See, and that's good too. Like, I get it. There's plus and minuses to both, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's one of them that you have 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other.
Right.
So I respect it all because it's still something that's earned. It's something that you bust your ass for. So I guess however you ultimately get it, just make sure you get it. Just keep putting in the work. Get that shit, right?
Wait, real quick.
Yeah.
Gauntlet or no gauntlet when you do that?
Oh.
When we get promotions, no gauntlet.
Okay, see, that.
It's at the end. It's at the end of class. It's when we're lining up,
Yeah.
right? And we line up accordingly, and then you get promotions at that point.
Dude,
I'm
there's
okay
definitely
with that.
gauntlet. Man, they gauntlet you up here.
Yeah,
But here's what I don't like. Okay, I'm okay with gauntlet at blue, purple, brown. Black belt, you're not supposed to get gauntlet.
I agree with you on
You're
that.
supposed to walk through and they're
should
just
be
on the side with their
respected.
belts looking like they're.
Don't
but they
fucking touch me. I'll kill you.
Yeah, but over here you get gauntlet at black belt. I didn't. I'm like, I
It's
ain't
like,
gonna do
well,
no
you
black
still
belt.
trying to beat my ass? What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Got whipped 3 times.
That's true.
We should do a poll. I'm curious, like how many
You know
schools
what?
do gauntlets
I'll put
and how
a
many
poll
don't
in
do
the-
them. That's good.
I will definitely put a poll in the freaking in the community portion.
Do black belts go through gauntlets? I'd like
Okay.
to see what the
All right, so
what the
2
consent
polls.
because
One would
I'm
be-
saying no, they should not.
Okay. Should black belts go through gauntlets? And
Yeah.
then the other one is, do you even do gauntlets at
does
your
your school
school?
do gauntlets?
I'll definitely put those together.
Just see
Gauntlet
if
or
it's
no gauntlet?
changed. I think it might be kind of dying out the gauntlet.
I think so
so.
too.
Yeah.
It felt very like a what's the word, like a hazing type.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
feel like
it's
a
fucking
fraternity
hazing.
deal.
Yeah,
When I was
blatantly.
watching it, I don't take
100%.
part in it. I didn't do the hitting, and I don't want to get hit.
Right.
So I'm like, if I don't want to get hit, I'm not going to hit anybody
Right.
else. But
Right.
It's
I just don't
funny.
really like it.
I asked Jamie about that one time, and it was like, hey, what do you think about that gauntlet stuff? The dude's like, that is the stupidest shit.
So
we're not
I'd
doing
be
that."
really curious. It's so weird because I would have thought that Jamie would be like, "Yeah, we're gauntleting you. We're gonna freaking whip you with ropes."
Jamie's not above. Like, Jamie's not above.
He's a
like,
hard
King
to
of the
read
Hill.
guy.
If you're like, it's your birthday,
Right,
Yeah.
you're gonna go in the middle and you get your ass kicked.
Okay,
a
those
lot
are-
of
we
times,
did that.
right?
We did
That's
that.
cool.
Absolutely, we do that.
I think when I got my
shit.
black, like you threw everybody out there, I had to roll with
Yep,
everybody. I'm
yep.
like, oh my god, that's horrible. I'm gonna get a heart
And
attack.
that's
I'm old,
fine.
dude.
You know, it's like, hey, it's your birthday. Here you go.
Hell yeah.
You know?
Hell yeah. All right. So here's one other good one that I think there's a comparison that's going to be interesting for the peoples. Music or no
yeah.
music when
yeah.
you train?
Yeah.
All right, so we have always been a strictly no music gym until we showed up at Infinite.
It is fun, dude.
Ever since then, we've been a music gym.
Bro,
Changing lives and influencing people.
it's the weirdest thing because it just sets the tone. It gives you more energy. And
Definitely.
you just like, it's like you want to dance almost. In
Yeah,
a way, it's like a
dude.
dance,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Bro, there's days when I don't want to roll, but there's a good song. I'm like, come on,
I'm
man,
getting
let's
out
go,
there.
big dude.
We're getting on.
I don't care how big you are. Let's go.
Hell yeah. Rod's out there shaking his groove thing, choking the shit out of people.
I was rolling with one of our females the other night when a song came on that I love. It was a Blink-182 song.
Oh, nice.
And I'm sitting there singing the entire song.
Yeah, that's
while
why
rolling
you're
with her.
fighting.
She's like, you never missed a lyric that entire roll. I'm like, no, I didn't.
That's
But
it, dude.
there's a caveat. You got to watch the type of music, right? If
Yeah.
you put on some like Limp Bizkit or something.
All right. I get it. Look, man.
Would you put on some reggae or something?
Reggae is always the safe bet.
Okay.
Oldies is always a safe bet.
Yeah.
I have a playlist. I have a 70s playlist that I'll put on. It's got like old Jackson 5, or not Jackson 5. It's got like old Michael Jackson stuff because Jackson 5 is like 60s. But anyway, I got all these different mixes, right? And it's cool. But I also have a mix that's straight gangster rap, and it's fucking, it's terrible, and I get it. If kids are there that day, I probably shouldn't play it. I probably shouldn't play it. But I love all kinds of music, man. I listen to it all, so yeah. But Rod, sometimes he's like, "Come on, man, you can't play this."
You got the real nice conservative looking lady. I was going to drop off little Ricky. She's here like,
Some Easy E comes on.
I don't think I feel comfortable at the
Yeah. Fair enough.
Where am I at?
I've tried.
You're getting better.
to get better.
You're
Thank
getting a
you.
lot better.
Thank you. I'm trying because you're right. Some of it, I just like, fuck them. Maybe all right.
I got one more question to Tim while we have you here. I want to pick your brain a little bit. Are you seeing the guys that are joining? Because I know back in the day it was always self-defense was like the driving, factor. Are you seeing that now, or are you seeing more people that are? I just want to learn jiu-jitsu. It's a cool thing. It's a sport.
I think I'm seeing more of like I just want to learn jiu-jitsu, right? I think it's just become so much more mainstream as opposed to like I said when we were young, right? You didn't know what the hell jiu-jitsu was, right? You knew it from UFC, and you really didn't know even what the hell it was, right? And now it's just so big that like everyone's doing it that it's just kind of like it's almost taken the place of like what karate and taekwondo and stuff did back when we were kids.
Ashton
right?
Kutcher just got his black belt like a month or so ago. I mean, he's got
he
like
did.
12 years in. He's got like
Dave Mustaine from Megadeth
Yep.
just got his black belt.
and then who's the guy from Saved by the Bell? I think he might be getting his.
Oh,
I think
you're
he
right.
might
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
brown or pushing on black
Mario
too.
Lopez.
Yeah.
Dude, so you're right. It's pretty damn mainstream now. It is mainstream, which also makes it run the risk of becoming a freaking McDojo type thing.
Bittersweet.
Dude, yeah. We just had a post about it on our Facebook page.
Did you?
Because didn't you
Like,
say here
don't
like
be a McDojo.
Yeah.
like inherently you have to water it down. You just have to.
And we
to
talked about
attract
that
more
on a pod
people,
before.
Yeah.
In order for something to actually be acceptable to everyone, it has to almost be accessible to everyone. And they always say, jiu-jitsu's for everybody. But we're like, is it?
No, it's not.
Is it? But the only way it can be for everybody is to, unfortunately, start to bring the standard down so that everybody can kind of feel good and make it. And I did it. I'm accomplishing things. And it's like, maybe your grandma, maybe your great 80-year-old grandma shouldn't try to like take our competition class. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. I think it all depends on kind of like what kind of gym you have and what kind of program you want to run. You know, it's like this shit ain't for everyone.
Yeah.
It's
and
not.
very few people will actually achieve a black belt. You know,
Yeah.
it's like you guys know, just like I did, you're gonna get your ass kicked.
That's
You know,
right.
you're gonna have to go through some hell to
yeah.
get your black belt.
Blood,
right?
sweat, and tears. You're
Yeah,
going to get
straight up.
injured.
Literally.
Who's gotten through an entire, belt system, got to black belt, and nothing got hurt? No,
Yeah.
not just hurt.
Never
injured.
dealt with one injury or
Yeah.
surgery or
Seriously.
something, you know?
For
yeah,
sure.
No, it's I don't know if it shouldn't exist, but it probably doesn't, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I'm kind of the opinion of like, some people shouldn't do this and some people can't, right?
Facts.
They don't have the fortitude for
Right.
it.
Yeah.
You got to
And-
be tough. Whether
Yeah.
there's some toughness to this.
Yeah. But it weeds those people out, I think.
It does.
Like it just
It
the
does.
nature of
It does,
Yeah.
but like like kind of what you're going to about watering it down. It's like I'm almost the opposite. I say make it harder,
Which
that way you kind
fine
of like
with.
keep the sport pure.
But that's never going to happen.
No.
Because it's a martial art, it's a sport, but I'll tell you what the fuck it really is. It's a business.
Yes.
And business you need as many buyers as you can get.
Yeah, I'm aware. It's a big difference to going from like a practitioner to
Right.
an owner. You're just like, I gotta
"Ooh,
rethink
that
this
light
a little
bill's
bit.
coming due.
I
Hell
see
yeah.
him maybe having different classes, like a competition class. That might be a
Yeah.
way to,
Right.
Yeah.
kind of keep everybody happy.
But that actually kind of goes back, I think, to like what I'm trying to do with the female class, and what I'd like to do, like eventually down the road, is like have separate classes, like have a all female class, have a beginner class,
Yeah.
have an advanced competition
Yep.
class,
Yeah.
and
And the thing with that is it takes volume. It takes enough people to feed that machine.
Yep.
And that's where it gets harder, right? If you don't have a couple hundred students, that shit ain't gonna happen. It'll be
Yep.
it'll be hard to segment it so small where you
Yeah.
go, I'm still gonna fill a class that's very specialized.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
I would love to have just beginners classes, right? Where it's like it's white and maybe blue belt,
Yep.
and that's it.
and you work on fundamentals.
Right. But it's like, dude, there's only 7 days in a week.
Yeah.
There's only so many hours. The prime hour is really the 6 o'clock after.
yeah.
So how are you going to tell motherfuckers, hey, just don't go to work that
Yeah.
day. Don't go to work that day. Take off early so you can come to this beginner's class every single day. And it's like, well, hold on, man. How am I going to pay for it? I'm not at work anymore. So it's like,
You gonna sponsor me?
yeah, you going to sponsor? Hell yeah.
That's why I think
it's
as an
rough.
instructor, have your your main thing that you want to teach for that day. It could be something advanced, but you got to have that backup plan in the
Yes.
pocket, right?
Yeah.
And that could be anything
Yes.
simple that you don't need to put a lot of thought into. It's a basic,
Absolutely.
thing that you got. Piece.
And with me and my basic, I always go like this. I can teach a basic move and different levels of that same
yeah,
move,
yeah.
right?
Yes.
I can show a white belt what he should understand about an arm bar, a blue, a purple, brown, and a black what they should understand about the same arm bar. Maybe it's a little more detailed. Maybe it's a little more, well, hey, instead of just this, this, and this, maybe we'll add a little setup to it or something, or if it fails, you go to this. You can layer that shit.
Yeah.
You can layer it.
I was just teaching the female class. I had all white belts in that day, and they were asking me about triangles. I'm like, okay, wait a minute, hold on. Do you guys even know how to really do a proper triangle, like like an old school triangle?
Yeah.
And they really didn't even know how to do that. And so
Dude,
I was like, I had to break it down from the very beginning, like this is what you have to do, and you need to get your leg like this. And it's like it's like that's not even how I do a triangle now.
Yeah.
I do things
Right.
so differently with like the way I cut my angles and
Yes.
everything else
yeah,
to get
yeah.
it.
But teaching beginner mechanics.
They have
Yeah.
to know it,
Yeah.
right? It's like crawling before you
Crawl for
walk,
walk,
and
yeah.
walking before you run. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
So
Trap, retrap, angle, finish.
Yep.
That's how I teach triangles. Trap, retrap, angle, finish. I do it with that. It's like a song. You can just sing song the whole thing as you're doing it. Trap, retrap, angle, finish. Trap, retrap. Anyway, damn, dude. So, Rod, do you have anything else specific?
No, I was just going to say we got a good setup for you. So when you come in and teach, so Tim is going to start teaching on Monday
yeah.
nights. At least for now. I don't know how long it's going to be, but just enjoy it while you got it, you guys. So come
Hell
in Monday
yeah.
nights, get some of his teaching, and you should have a nice little setup because especially with your leg locks, because our guys know the basic, the positions. They know all that. So if you wanted to go in there and say, hey, I'm going to show you 5 things from outside Ashi. Thank God.
Oh,
At least
yeah.
they won't know the moves. Like, oh, this is cool, but at least they know the position.
Right.
Because I stopped at the position. I didn't go into the moves and the attacks and all that. We just didn't have time. So now it'd be like perfect to go.
So you set it all up for me.
Rod Pride in the pump.
Yeah.
Rod Pride in the pump. He's like, get ready. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go to his class too because I know he's really good at leg locks. So it's always
Hell
good
yeah.
to learn new stuff. So I'm looking forward to it.
I'm probably gonna pop in too, so I can go scissor some people.
Hell yeah. You got to get your quota of 10 in, right?
I get my scissoring quota in with that 50-50.
That's all I got. That's all I got.
All right. So, listen, everybody. I'm really hoping you enjoyed this. Freaking Tim is a cool guy, dude. If you're
Appreciate
ever
you
in the
guys. Thank you so
Sacramento
much,
area,
man.
come through and see us, man. Go to House of Moon. Come to Infinite. Come see it. We're an open book. We're pretty easy to fucking find out here. Tim, any shout outs, anything you want to put out to the people, man? Go for it. Floor is yours.
Oh, man. Don't give me an open floor. I freeze on the spot. It's like, shit.
Beautiful.
But no, I just want to say thank you guys so much for having me out. I appreciate you guys a lot. Shout out to, all the ladies at Infinite that have, welcomed me in for their female class there, and, also at our school. And just also a lot of shout out to, a lot of people that have helped us out along the way. A lot of the guys at our gym and, outside sources that have helped us, help our gym going. Shout out to Bibbins for, I took this school over kind of like the name from Anthony Bivens and his program.
Okay. Oh,
right?
yeah.
And so he gave us the blessing to use the name and kind of go.
That's cool.
Because I mean, House of Moons used to be a huge name as far as the kids program, and we were like, they hear your name and they were in fear of the kids program, right?
Nice.
It was cool. Yeah. So we wanted to we went back to the roots, right? And so thanks Bivens for all the help that, he's been. And yeah, man, it's been a wild ride, and it's just, we just got started. So I'm looking forward to 26, and
Hell yeah.
looking to kick 25 in the rear view. It's been an interesting year, man. So, but
Good shit.
just all good.
And
stuff
where can they
looking forward.
find House of Moons on the webs?
We are, the address is 7130 Auburn Boulevard, so we're in Stitches Heights. The website is hombjj.com, and then if you go to that, it'll have all of our Instagram,
links.
Facebook.
Yeah, we'll throw it in the
Hell
description.
yeah. hombjj.com. No doubt. All right. Well, once again, everybody, we appreciate you, man. Keep on freaking sharing this and get those likes up and get the algorithm out there. Make it happen. Oh yeah, good.
One more shout out real quick. Sorry,
course.
I
Hell no, do it. Floor is yours.
So I just got to shout out to my girlfriend. I know we're talking about family and stuff like that.
Nice.
I have a really good girl. I just had surgery not too long ago. You guys remember that?
Yeah,
Right?
I do remember that.
The day I got home from surgery, I'm sitting there looking miserable, and she's like, "You want to go to jiu-jitsu, don't you?"
Oh, man, she
like
gets
I
it.
do. So she drove me to jiu-jitsu 2 days in a row
That's
just so I
awesome.
could be on the mat.
That's
you know what
what's
I mean? It's
up.
like she's a
gets it,
good
dude.
chick.
That's cool.
So,
Hell yeah.
So Anna, thank you for everything you do for me.
We appreciate you bringing them through, Anna. That's what's up. That's what's up. Hell yeah. Well, make sure, everybody, as you're putting up your likes and shares and all that, thank Anna for getting Tim out there, because we appreciate that too. All right. Everyone, make sure you keep training. Don't be a quitter. Listen, what did we say last time? We said, look, you can quit anytime, so why quit today, right?
Right.
Quit tomorrow.
Quit tomorrow. Quit tomorrow, because tomorrow never comes.
Just keep saying it.
You know we get that from Rocky, right?
that
He's
what
like, when he's fighting Apollo or they're practicing, he's like, we'll do it tomorrow. He's like, there is no tomorrow.
yeah.
So quit tomorrow.
That's good.
All right. I think that's it, right?
That's it, man. That's all we got.
Hell yeah. Do jiu-jitsu, people. Make sure you get out there and do the damn thing. Until next time.
Keep training.
Us.
Us.